Hello, welcome to part 2 of Anjanath. I know this part came out soon, I think, if it did, because I'm recording this the day that the first part came out, so this one should come out soon. But we'll see. Anyway, so hello. This one, I'm gonna stupid things, a lot of stupid things with this one too. I updated my computer to Windows 11 first off, and that kind of screwed up everything, and especially like OBS and stuff. And then, oh yeah, look, I have a reference to the side now, so you're gonna see that. That's a new thing. So OBS was like broken the whole time, and so this thing was made of like a bunch of recordings. It was a bunch of really small recordings, and OBS, anytime I like tried to pause or anything with OBS, it would just like crash and break and make my whole computer like lag and explode, and that was really annoying. So I don't know if anyone knows about that. That'll be cool, or say something about it. I don't know. I'll try to fix it if I can. But this whole thing, there was a lot of videos in total. It was, let's see, I have some notes about this thing too. It was like 10 hours for this part. I think it would have been like 8.5 to 9 if it wasn't for OBS sucking so bad. And there's also going to be a few just like random breaks of nothing in between, because like the recording is really so broken and hard to mess with and just deal with while drawing. It was just really annoying. So there's probably like another like maybe 30 minutes ish of just like nothing. But to tell you, like I said, this whole thing is 10 hours ish, so it's been sped up 30 times. So every like 1 second of viewing is 30 seconds of like drawing. So then in 2 seconds it was a minute of drawing already. Yeah, so this one moves pretty fast compared to most others, and you'll see that most of my time was spent on just Anjanath. He will literally, I think he is like literally like 50% of my time was just spent on him alone. I had kind of a rough time with him. There was a few things, and oh yeah, I guess I'll tell you about the lore. This will be the lore episode video with this one. Let's see, did I have any more notes? The last thing that it says is oh yeah, I guess that later on I'll talk about something that kind of, I guess that'll kind of tie into something later on. And then the only other thing is that I should write better notes to help with what did that say? See, that's the thing, my notes suck. They're like broken English because I'm just trying to type something fast and I don't really care, but then when I read them later I'm like, I don't remember. So I should write better notes, or record like right when right after I finish a thing, or just be funnier. So any one of those things I guess I can try. So I'll try to do that next time. But so now let's actually talk about the drawing. So you'll see with this guy, I have the picture on the side now. You can see a reference, one of the references I was using. I started using this one mainly after I put this one here. I was like, I'll just try to stick to this one a bit more. I had a decent angle, kind of similar to what I had, so that I can kind of get most of the colors in the areas that it looks like on the real guy. So like, okay, that really helps. I'll try to do something like that. I thought it would be kind of cool to finally like show you kind of some of the references I was looking at during the drawing. So this is, I think for most of the time now, I'm just looking at this one. Every once in a while I might like go back to the few others for like specific areas, because I think, yeah, like this guy, he doesn't show like the tummy of Anjanath, so I had to like kind of figure that out with another picture. I showed like his tummy, and then I had another one that had him like breathing fire, and oh yeah, that was the thing that was supposed to be going on in this. I wanted to be like shooting fire at like my character who will be drawn in. You can't really see him right now because I zoomed in the canvas and moved it around a little, but my character's to the right side of this Anjanath, and like in front of him I'm going to be having Anjanath like kind of shooting fire or something. And then so yeah, that's kind of what's going on there. So I had another picture of Anjanath shooting fire out, and there's like a weird pose that he takes when he does that, so I was looking at that. Here, I guess I'll kind of start talking about it now. So I had lore for this guy, and you can kind of see it like here with the weird like white pale coloring on his like head and stuff. I thought before like I was gonna make him like some really cool weird deviant monster that survived a hunt, and I was gonna have him be like a super big Anjanath that's been like hurt and damaged by previous hunters, and then you'll have like super glowy eyes. His skin color, because you can see the other Anjanath over there, I wanted to be much more red because he's kind of a pink guy. And my girlfriend, she never knew how to say his name. She played the game with someone else, like one of her other friends when they first started playing. Neither of them knew how to say his name, which is Anjanath. I guess it's kind of spelled a little weird, but they just called him Pinky, which I thought was a little confusing because there's another monster in this game that is literally just called like the pink version of another monster. It's just called Pink Rathian, in comparison to their regular just Rathian. But they just called this one Pinky, and so I feel like I always kind of thought about him having a bit more pink color, which he usually is kind of portrayed with, but I want him to be like a deep red color for his skin, and then his fur is usually just like kind of like black, grayish, silver. And I was like, I'll try to make that more purpley to make it look all cool and interesting. And then yeah, I wanted to have a bunch of battle scars. I wanted to like, as you can kind of see on his little the reference image, he has like a really wide open mouth with this really huge purple like webbing in between his mouth jaws. And so I wanted like that area to look like it got like damaged a lot, and like burn holes and stuff like are ripping through it. And I want it to be like maybe this guy like shoots a lot more fire, because that's the thing with deviant monsters and other Monster Hunter games. They're like, they have one trait that they like do a lot more than the normal monster, or they're just like much stronger or better than the normal one. So like maybe for this guy, he's like, that was the other thing too, because there's a bunch of things with this lore of this guy, and then one of them was already gone. I kind of said before, like a weird bone crown coming out of the top of his head. With that, I was just like, I don't know anymore about that. But you can kind of see with like the drawing of the kind of like background foreground elements, he's kind of like grabbing something in the dirt. I want him to be like, oh, this deviant has like, he uses his forearms kind of for like weird things, maybe like kind of like he has stronger upper body strength, so he can like use his arms actually for some stuff, which I don't know how that would actually work, because that would just kind of be new move sets. And usually deviants don't have much crazier move sets, just more effects added to like the same move. But I don't know, that was just lore stupidness. And then I also wanted to like be more fiery, so like his like weird stretchy like webbing on the sides of his mouth have like burned away, and his tongue is like all black and charred now because of like he shoots way more fire. And I was thinking maybe I'll have like fire coming out of his weird nose ridge thing at the top of his head. But then oh yeah, and then another thing, I was like, oh, maybe I'll try to make him look all really cool. And I was like, the weird like paleness that was on his face beforehand, I was like, oh, maybe it'll be like that's like, it would like follow his bone structure, so you can like kind of see like his skeleton underneath the skin, kind of like the weird like white pattern would like follow his bone structure and look like T-Rex skull thing that's underneath his skin. And his skin being like really red, it would like pop out a lot and look really cool. But then I was like, that's complicated and I don't know what I'm doing, so I scrapped that. And then oh yeah, now you can see here at this point his head shape has changed quite a bit, and just a little while ago I brought up his eye. It's gonna keep changing a little bit. I don't think it landed in the perfect area. I think at the very end, when I looked back at it, I wanted to move his nostril a little bit further back. It changed a little bit some more later on, but I think I still left it like at the very end a little too close to the front, and so it looks kind of weird. That'll be changed. Yeah, so I changed his head shape quite a bit and kind of like try to align his weirdness a little bit more to make him look like I don't know, like the weird noodle. Because that's the thing, like this angle doesn't really show it well, but the regular Anjanath has a very long neck. It's extremely long. And it's just kind of just a gross, long, crinkled neck that he has. So I was trying to get that more with perspective, even though he kind of looks like a gross noodle shark now, instead of like a T-Rex dinosaur. I feel like it kind of looks more anatomically accurate, but not as like stylistically appealing. There's a lot of stuff like that for this guy. Oh yeah, and then his wings too. For his like weird lore design, I was thinking like, oh, if he's gonna be like the weird King Anjanath, I want him to have like much more orange and red like wings, because they're like yellow and slightly orangey red. You can kind of see like those weird like tiger stripes in his wings on the reference picture. So I was like, oh, I'll try to make them like more orangey and red in there. That's what I was trying to do for his wings. And then it doesn't really show much in this picture, but in game, at least I thought so. I don't know. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I was just crazy the whole time I've ever seen him. But he usually gets like these weird little spikes that'll come out of his fur on his tail. There's just like these like porcupine spikes. That's why this guy is just such like a weird abomination, because like that nose thing is never really there until he gets angry, and then those wings too, they pop out when he also gets angry, and spikes on his tail and underneath his tail. You can kind of see it in the reference image. There's like, he has like a spiky undertail, but they pop out even more, I think, when he's angry. So this guy's just like a weird freak of like a furry T-Rex, hairy, skinless headed vulture bat. I don't even know what he is, that breathes fire. So he's just like a really weird creature, but I kind of like him, kind of think he's kind of cool. And then this was like my version of him, and I kind of dropped the lore bits just because I couldn't really capture the, I don't know, a much different looking Anjanath. At the very end, he kind of just looks like a slightly big Anjanath. So, you know, if someone wants to draw that lore, they can try to. I might try to again at some later, like some other point. Maybe I'll try to do my own deviant monsters. That might be cool. But yeah, whatever, I tried. No, that was a lot of talking, and I think we're just finally getting out of the Anjanath. Yeah, there we go. After all that time and all that talking I was doing, finally getting out of the Anjanath, and now we're getting into drawing pretty much anything else now. So that was over, I think that was over half of the length of this video of just Anjanath. A lot of the tricks, I don't know what I'm saying, like turbulations. I'm just drawing one stupid dino. Like I moved his foot a little bit more, and then at this point I was like, I need to kind of get the other elements together to like make sure he fits in with everything else. And then yeah, when I start like doing the background and stuff, I'll see like the weird little things that I missed. So I was like, okay, I'll start doing other things. So I went to now my girlfriend's character, Joe. I think that's just her name, just Joe, with her insect glaive bug lance. Is it? Yeah, insect glaive, aka like bug lance weapon. For this, I didn't put the reference on screen here, but I was looking at just some of the recording footage for our Let's Play of her character kind of just like running from behind. I was just using that and kind of looking at the colors, and I was kind of also trying to keep everything kind of balanced together in the same kind of color spectrum. I think in my notes I say I should talk about this a little bit later, so I don't know if what goes on later why I should really bring it up, but I'll just talk about it now. But the girlfriend had us doing like, what is it, like master studies, where you like copy someone else's picture that's like good at art, and then try to see what you can like learn from copying their picture. So I did one of the, still that guy that I always bring up his book, and I don't know how to say his name at all still, because it's really weird. It's like Guiz, I guess you would say. But it was one of the witch girls he does, like, because I guess he's done a few witch girls. I don't think he really names all of them, but he's just done like a few art pieces that he's called like witch girls. And I was doing a master study kind of thing of one of them, and then I might show it on screen. Kind of looks gross putting them side by side and stuff, but whatever. But in that picture I kind of learned something. I was just like, oh, he kind of just used like two colors throughout most of the picture. It was just like a really dark teal, like black color. It was like a really dark blue, and then like a really like kind of like a half saturated orange. And that was pretty much the only two colors he used for the entire artwork. And so for this, I was trying to like maybe try to keep that in mind. I was like, okay, so I was like, I try to use that really dark purple blue, and the Anjanath's like fur, like on his tail-ish area, like above his like leg calf, I don't know, leg thigh, I guess, or T-Rex. So right above that, I was trying to use that really dark blue for like shading and a lot of different things. And then I was also trying to use like the pink towards like the tip of his nose or like snout area, that pinkish color. I was trying to use that a lot too for like reds and browns. Try to keep things kind of cohesive. And then oh yeah, that was in game. I just went in game to another character that I've been trying to like level up and play a little bit. Pretty much I'm literally just using that character for what you see there, just like getting reference pictures for things in the game. So that's pretty much what I've been using that character for, and I'll just like play it to get to like a certain monster or something and then use it to take pictures of it, and then I'll draw it or something like that. I just went in game and stood in the main area that's like right at the start of the ancient forest. Took some pictures, took a few of them, and then I only really used one of them as the reference. And I don't know, I kind of changed a bit of like my pre-drawing, but I also try to stick pretty close to some of the like placement that I had, because I know it wasn't exactly like one-to-one with what it really looks like here, but I kind of knew the area, so I was trying to get it like myself. So I don't know if I like really should have stuck more to what I had it as originally, because I kind of like how that looked, but this is more true to what it really looked like. So yeah, I don't know. I think it's fine in the end. I think I don't know, maybe I could have tried to bring up the right side a little bit higher. I think at the very end it's like a little low, and it looks kind of weird compared to the left side that's on like the, I feel like the left of the Anjanath, like that area looks much higher than the area that's like to the right of Anjanath's mouth. I was thinking maybe I should have brought that up a little. But oh well, I can always go back if I really want to and keep working an art piece forever and ever. But I was just like, yeah, I called it done, so it's done. You know, it's done at this point. Finished. We're getting closer and closer to the end now. Kind of for, yeah. And then another thing that I learned with the GUIs was he kind of just makes things look really simplistic. That's kind of what I was trying to do throughout all of this, even though it took forever and ever and ever with the Anjanath. I was really trying to make him look kind of more simplified in his rendering, and I was trying to do that a lot more with our characters too, and make them look more simplified, but I also wanted to keep them like look cohesive in the art piece, so I kind of go back over them and mess with them a little bit more. Like I think, yeah, you're seeing that here, going back to, oops, I'm gonna have to bleep that out or something or whatever. But Joe's character, and I kind of mess with it a little bit to make it blend in more with the scene. I try to make that area of the rocks look more rendered, because yeah, I try to do more. I did some like weird, I did a few effects for this one because my flipping girlfriend bugged me so much about it last time. I was like, alright, I'll use a bunch of weird effects and stuff. I just didn't really feel like doing that last time with the Cantor, but I did a lot more this time. It's just a personal preference. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Yeah, on this stage you'll see me trying to do fire, and I don't know, and that'll be a problem for my next piece coming up soon. Actually, I feel like now that I'm looking at these, they didn't look that bad. But yeah, I was just struggling for a while with fire, but anyway, so I blurred the background image a little bit, made like the areas that are further and further away like blurrier and blurrier, so I had to like increase the detail in like the areas that are closer up. So I was doing that a little bit. Now I'm trying to get the fire that's coming out of his mouth, and then I think I left the recording for a little bit and came back. Still trying to figure it out, because I didn't really want him to be shooting like a beam of fire, but I want him to be like storing up the charge of fire in his like mouth. This might be the final looking fire. I think I changed it a little bit more at the very end. I think, yeah, at this point I'm kind of like, I've scaled up the bugs. It looked a little small. Kind of trying to make it look like he's lifting up the ground, because that was kind of supposed to be a part of the stupid imagery. It doesn't really look like it, but yeah, I tried. Try to increase or get rid of some of the blur on the right side that's closer to the screen to make it look closer and more clear. Let's see. I don't know what's going on now. I know we're getting close to the end, so it's gonna end pretty soon. Is this it? Alright, I think we added a few more details. I think so. Yeah. I think I was doing something. I was like looking at references and checking back and forth. Oh, and then I guess I time skipped. Forgot to record that bit, but then yeah, I added another, like it was like just a few like color dodge and multiply layers. You'll see at the very end, if you've been paying attention to layers, there is a lot. I like right now I'm on layer 19. I swear there's a lot more than just 19 layers here, and a lot of them aren't very useful, but I use them all. I did some for his skin to make him more red, did one for his nose to make it more yellowy, changed the fire. I think I changed a little bit of the my character, add a little bit more detail around that area of to the my guy on the right side, and then mess with the background a little, and that's it. There you go. We did it. Woo. And yeah, congratulations, we finished. A little bit faster maybe than a Cantor, maybe, I don't know. Sorry if you heard a lot of fidgeting. Trying to not fidget, but I'm a fidgeter with recordings and stuff, so yeah, it'll get better though. All right, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the button, smash like, and this. Yes, goodbye. Whatever.